Hello, my name is Jerry Kafitz, and I'm here to tell you today about a friend of mine. I'm here to tell you about a man named Pastor Dorman Owens of El Cajon, California. And the reason I'm making this video is because there needs to be a record of who this person is and what his influence has been, not just in my life, but in the lives of hundreds and hundreds of people, and the level on which those people have been influenced by Pastor Dorman. Pastor Dorman came to the San Diego area from Texas in 1971 and founded a little church called Bible Missionary Fellowship. This was the church that the Lord had in place for me in 1983 when I reached out to him. And they represented him in a way that got my attention and brought me to the understanding and the belief that Christianity was real, that Christianity was something that God would have me to adopt in terms of fulfilling my purpose, the reason for my being here. My testimony, the story of how this all came about, was done by a radio program, the Unshackled radio program, and produced as a radio drama a couple of years ago. And you can hear that through my website or through the Unshackled radio program in the 2007 archives. Pastor Dorman has always represented to me, more than any other thing, personal holiness. A level of personal holiness that I have never, ever seen compromised, seen overshadowed. And this is something that's been just a tremendous blessing to me. This is something that has inspired me. This is something that has served as my example. This is just the kind of person that just needs to be there for Christians to know and for Christians to understand you can do this Christian thing right. You can live out your years and be uncompromised. You can live out your years and be an expression of who God wants you to be and what God wants you to do. His level of personal holiness is really in a class by itself for me. Secondly, I've often called Pastor Dorman a walking encyclopedia of doctrine. When I think of the word doctrine, I immediately think of Pastor Dorman Owens. There's not a doctrine that you can bring up to him on which he cannot wax eloquent at the drop of a hat for 20 solid minutes and give you just core biblical truths. I have in storage here a 55-gallon drum full of audio cassette tapes of his Sunday morning, Sunday night preaching, Wednesday night Bible teachings. And those tapes, after I moved away, were my meat and potatoes as far as my Christian diet. And they're responsible to such a significant extent for my understanding of doctrine today and the solid foundation that I believe God has allowed me to have in the Christian faith. Now, what we know about prophets in the Old Testament, what we know that Jesus said about prophets, unfortunately, among other things, is this sad fact: they are without honor often in their own homes. And at this stage of Pastor Dorman's life, that's come to pass for him. He has been without honor from his old church, the people who have led him, whom he has led to Christ. Over all these decades have not responded in a way that is commensurate with a person to whom they would owe what they owe this man. And that's unfortunate. So one of the reasons that I'm making this tape is just to set the record straight in terms of who he is, his level of personal holiness, the fact that his church and sadly, even those within his own family have cast him aside at this time of his life. Jesus said to his disciples, "Heretofore I have called you my disciples." He said, "But now," he said, "I call you my friends." If I have ever known a person who is a friend of Jesus Christ, it's Pastor Dorman. I'm very happy to just say that he has been such a good friend to me all these years, and I'm unbelievably and inexpressibly grateful for his influence in my life. There's just so much that I owe. I'm sure I won't understand it all until I get to heaven, And at that point, at that time, the honor will come to all those to whom it is due. And that would be, among others, of course, my friend Pastor Dorman Owens. Thank you. I'm Jerry Kafitz.